Hello everyone, Jackie Edwards here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I want to do a quick introduction to a series that we are going to be doing over the next few episodes of this show. I am super excited about this because it's all about women and wealth. And it's really going to be digging deep into some of the thoughts that I see as so common in women when we're talking about wealth or money or anything to do with kind of our finances. And I think it is a huge topic that we need to cover because there's some big myths that we need to bust in there. And it all begins with how you think other people are going to perceive you when they know you have wealth or you have money. And it's very different from how men are working in the world and how men are thinking about their wealth and their money. And it's a lot around how we're raised differently, how we have these beliefs in us that have been taught to us, not just, in our lifetime, but for centuries and generations. We have been told that, women and men are different. Women and men have been being taught different things. So for women, we're taught to, be more nurturing. We're taught to, spend less, to budget our money, to economize, to just make ourselves smaller so that other people can stand out more. We're taught not to be bossy or braggy or bitchy or, whatever it is that makes us stand out too much in the crowd. Whereas men are taught to really stand out. They are taught to, take risks, be adventurous, take chances. They're taught that the more money they have, the more they will be able to, support themselves, to support their families, to find a better partner, to be more attractive to the world. Whereas again, women are taught that, the more money you have, if you're a strong, powerful working woman that's making a good salary, you're going to be less likely to find a partner because the men are intimidated by you. And you're going to be less likely to have a great family because you won't have time for children for some reason. So it's completely different thoughts and different teachings between men and women. And I want to start to look at some of those beliefs and how they are limiting us and how they are holding us back. Things like, if people know I'm wealthy, they'll think I'm greedy, or they will think that I'm selfish, or they'll think I'm bragging if they hear me talk about money or if they know how much money I have, or they will think I'm a sellout, that, I've gone over to the man and become a capitalist pig because I've been, growing my wealth in order to take care of, myself, my family, and the world. We're going to be looking at lots of those beliefs like that and understanding where they're coming from and what we can do to start to make a change. Because when we really think about it, do we want our children to have those beliefs? If we look at our daughters, do we want them thinking, oh, we can't be wealthy because then we won't be able to attract a man? Or we don't want to be, powerful because then we'll be too bossy and we won't get a good job. Is that how we want to raise our children? To have those thoughts and those differences? Is that how we want our nieces and nephews to think? Our grandchildren? And so we need to start to change those thoughts and beliefs in our heads now. We need to find a new way of just communicating our ideas and how to not even equalize between what we're teaching men and women, but to just change the rhetoric for everybody and to really focus on how power and wealth is not that masculine power and wealth that we see right now, that we see as, greedy and dominating. We want to really focus on how we can have a more inclusive definition of power and wealth, and how by me having power, it's not taking away from anyone else. How by me having more wealth and more power, and my children having more wealth and more power, they will be sharing that with others. So the more I have, the more everybody has. And as women, we are working to kind of grow that social consciousness. And that's how we can make a difference. It's not having that power over other people and dominating them. It's having that power ourselves and being able to share that and bringing everybody else with us. It's the power with and the power to. So that's what we're going to be covering in the next episodes. And I want to make sure that you understand that this is super applicable to you, because how we understand our wealth and our power as women is how we use it then. If we think that, we shouldn't have this wealth, that this wealth is bad, that somehow people think we're greedy and we don't want to share it and tell other people about it, we want to hide it, then we're going to be holding ourselves back. We're not going to be able to make the impact that we were born to make in this world, that we have to make in this world. If we're still letting these antiquated thoughts of wealth equaling greed and selfishness, then we're not going to be able to get past that to the next step, where wealth actually equals how we grow the world, how we make a difference, and how we make that change. Because we have to start there. We have to start with ourselves, and we have to start with our own beliefs before we can start making a difference everywhere else. So that's what I'm going to be sharing in these next episodes. So I'm going to keep this one brief. I just wanted to do a quick overview so that you can understand where we're at and what the excitement is for moving forward and how we can really start to make that change. And I've spoken to women, and I've heard women talk about, how as their businesses have grown, or as they've grown their wealth, they've had to change their friends, and they've had to, go through different groups of friends. And sometimes they feel like that's selfish, or that they're, getting too big for their britches. But really it's that underlying issue of us as a society, as humanity, not being comfortable with talking about money and talking about wealth, that there's so many people out there that still think, oh, that's bad. So you feel held back by sharing about your wealth and the things that you can do and have and be because of it, because other people are there to tear you down. And again, this is especially more common with women. Men can be competitive and they want to do better, but they use that competition to better themselves often and to keep moving forward. Whereas women often use it to tear each other down. It's that kind of stereotypical gossip thing where, did you hear that so-and-so's done this and blah, 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 blah. And then we look at the other successful women around us and we think, oh, I want to be successful. They shouldn't be successful like that. There's something different about them. I want to make sure they stay different so I can stay the same and be part of the same and the community, and everybody's the same and they're being different. Let's attack the different people. So I want to make sure that as we grow this knowledge and as we make it more acceptable to be different, to have different things, to step into our power and our wealth, that we can grow that social consciousness. And the more of us that firmly believe this, the easier it's going to be. Tune back in for the next episodes. Make sure you check them out and make sure you really sit and think about what you think others' opinions are of you holds you back from making the difference that you can make in this world, and the difference that you can make with your wealth and your power, and how it's even holding you back from properly managing your wealth. Because even if you don't really think so, you are unconsciously trying to not grow your wealth so that people don't think badly of you, so that people don't think you're greedy and selfish and shallow and just a rich bitch. So when we can start busting those myths, those ideas, we can start to feel more confident in growing our wealth and in investing. And then we can really grow into who we are and how we can make our impact in the world. So I look forward to seeing you in the next episodes.